Hi guys, welcome to Manhood Explained. My name is Camille. Today is 31st of May 2020. Welcome to video number 156. Today I want to start a new series. I'm going to talk about smart love, whatever that means. You see, the problem is that it's hard to define love. And that's kind of the thing that I want to go through at the beginning, that I want to start with, because how can we talk about, smart something if we cannot define something? So that is why I want to go through and kind of touch upon the subject and go kind of deep into explaining love to us guys. Because our ladies, they don't have problem with that. They know what does it mean, they know what they feel, they know how they define it, but in our case, it's completely different story. So maybe it's good time to challenge it all before we're going to go in farther. So first of all, if you look at the definition of love, it says about this, this huge or kind of deep emotion of affection. It says about feelings basically, or some definitions say that it's type of a relationship or type of behavior that it's going to be kind of tendency to go towards good and this kind of stuff. But I would bet that if you ask yourself, or ask most, like 99% of guys, what is love? You're gonna have two types of answers. One, someone's gonna quote something that he heard, but he doesn't really believe in that. He's just quoting it because for a lack of a better explanation, it's good to have at least something. Or someone else will try to kind of explain to you what they understand or think about this feeling or this thing, and it's gonna be exactly that, the very staggering explanation. And this, they will try, but it's so abstract that it's hard to, I don't know. That is exactly the type of answer you're gonna get, because most of us, let's say it straight, we don't know what does it mean. We're not even able to define it. So let's try to see a few things that are close, and let's think if maybe they are what we're trying to look for. Because many times we say that we make love, which basically means to have sex, right? But is sex equals love? Are you able to have sex without feeling anything to anyone? I don't want to go too deep in that subject, but you know what I mean. Sex is an act. Sex is definitely not love. So okay, let's separate that. And for some of you, that would be important to kind of understand that if you want to sleep with a girl, it has nothing to do with you loving her. Just mentioning. And maybe that's a good segue. What does it mean to love in comparison to affection or to physical lust? Because you don't have to sleep with her to kind of, lust her body, right? Is that love? That you want to be with her physically? Or even emotionally, is that love? And then you've got to end, I don't know, but I don't know what you feel, but from my perspective, it's so much more than just simple affection. And the same, we can go even more. And what is the difference in between love and crush? Because maybe that's closer. But again, the same thing here. I would say that from my experience for years now being in a relationship, which I'm happy in and satisfied, that's important to kind of add. There's so much more to love than just feeling this affection or having a crush on someone. That's so much more, because crush many times will pass away, especially at the beginning, and this is that's so many of you are afraid of, that you've got this crush, you just so in love with someone, and then relationship starts to go on towards like being, affection fades off, and then you stay with a person that you don't really know how to deal with. And that's a subject of its own. You can easily restart and reignite the affection, reignite the crush, reignite the lust, and it's so easy. And that's I'll probably record a video about it, on its own. But it's not love. Whatever love is, it's not that. There's so much more than that. So if we know what it's not, then how are we supposed to approach? How to approach the subject that's going to come back to you over and over again? Because let's say it straight, we would not have to talk about it, it would not be a problem. But the problem is that your girl is going to ask you, do you love me? What you going to say? And most of us are going to say, yes, of course I love you. But then we know that we don't really understand the meaning of that word. So we feel like fake, because I really would like to feel this thing. I really would like to be able to kind of understand and have my own definition, to be kind of, to be in, to be able to say that I love her and mean it. You know what I say? What I mean? So that's why it's kind of important to talk about it, because it's gonna come back to you. And what you're gonna say then? So I want to point you to one of the stand-ups that Patrice O'Neil, really great stand-up comedian. I really believe that this guy was a genius, because he's unfortunately no longer with us. But this guy said something that took me for this like a thought train. And I spent a lot of time thinking what he said. And he basically stated in one of his stand-ups that that the perfect situation in between couple in a relationship is when she loves him and he likes her. And think about it. I'm just stating a thesis, but think about it. Maybe it's gonna be much easier for us to go that route. If I'll tell you, or if I ask you, do you like your girl? What would you say? And if I ask you, if you say yes, and probably you would, if you're still with her, then I will ask you why. And I'm sure that huge majority of us will have at least few, if not more, explanations or reasons why I like her. And that's why I kind of think that he kind of touched upon something very important, that for us, we have issues with understanding this very abstract concept, which is called love. What we automatically put like a name tag for that thing is what we see in romantic comedies. And what we see in this whole affection pink-ish world full of rainbows, butterflies, and unicorns, which is completely alien for us. We don't, as when we are like with each other as guys, nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about being so affectionate and being like in this fairy tale. That's not us. So why would we be forced to use this word? Why would we forced to use it when there's a word which is right next to it which explains it all? Because if I'll ask you, why do you like your girl? And if you'll be honest, you really like your girl when you can be yourself. Then I can express everything as exactly as I want to express it. Because if there's a relationship that I want to be in, that'll be the relationship where I can be completely honest, when I can completely express myself as I want. Because any type of relationship that will kind of lock me in things that I can't do, it's a jail. That's not the relationship I want to be in. So that's why many of us, because we don't understand love, and love kind of is automatically points out that we cannot sleep with someone else. We can't do what we want because there are responsibilities. That's why we kind of put love in this whole concept of this being jailed in. And whether we like it or not, we kind of fall into that, and then we end up in this kind of relationship where we don't know what to do. Whether the relation that you really want is when you like your girl, because you can say what you want to say, even though maybe that's going to be so stupid, that's going to be so much below her level, but she's going to laugh and say, you're stupid, but you're my stupid. I'll be able to be childish. I'll be able to be funny or stupid or ridiculous, and she's gonna like it. But then, because I'm completely free in how I can express myself with a relationship with her, she's okay with that. Then I feel that if I can be free, then I want to be with her. And then this whole train starts to go towards the direction of me wanting to be invested in this relationship, because I don't want to lose girl that I really like, because I can be completely myself with her. And then I start to be, more manly, because when I can see that she needs my attention, needs my help with this or that, I try to deliver. And then I start to bring bringing my level up in me being a man. And then she starts to, bringing her level up in being a, feminine girl. And then, we start to complement each other. And then she kind of pushes me towards, raising my bar. To remember that tomorrow my mom has a birthday, so it would be good to buy flowers today to be prepared, or something like this. And then we kind of start to complement each other. And I'm starting to liking her even more, and it starts to just work. I don't argue with her or try not to, because I like her. And then she loves me, whatever that means, and it complements each other. And then after a few years of being in that kind of relationship, you probably will start to feel that there's more to liking her that I define it as liking. This thing that you would feel, which is so deep and so heavy in its meaning, this is what many of us who experience what does love means, that's how we're going to be define it. There's something more, but I cannot explain what does it mean. But there's something more, but again, I cannot explain it. But it all starts with you liking her. And then if you're in love with her, you still like her, because that's the base. That's why I always say the best relationship, and those who are able to exist in long term, they are really, really good friends. And you like your friend. That's the whole point. You feel free to be with them and enjoy their company. You're able to sit with them in quiet without feeling pressure to say something because you feel uncomfortable. No, we feel completely comfortable in any kind of situation. So this is what I kind of want to say today. Maybe it's time to stop forcing us to say, do you love me? Because if I don't understand the meaning of this word, why would I be pressured to feel something, which I don't know what that means? And it's like with colors. If I don't know what fuchsia mean, or I don't know what this deep blue sea color in middle of July means, which our girls know exactly what does mean, this crazy name of colors, and I don't see that. For me, it's blue-ish. The same thing with love. If I cannot define it, understand, why would I be forced to use it? Maybe it's time to redefine and kind of give us a possibility to express what do we really feel. And then if I'll be able to say, listen, I like you so much. You make me feel free, you make me feel comfortable with whoever I am, you accept me, but then you push me to raise the bar. I feel like I want to be a man around you. So I want you to know, I don't know what love means, but I like you a lot. And that's why I want to be with you. That's why I want to be a better man, a better human, a better person to you. Because I don't want to lose you, because I really, really like you. You see? Because this is what I want you to take from this video. Love is an abstract concept. And if you don't get it, I would say from my perspective as a guy, it's okay. If you get it someday, cool. But if you don't, or especially now, it's not a good time to pressure yourself. But if we are completely capable of understanding and explaining why I like my girl, maybe it's time to kind of sit down and really rethink, why do I like her? Or maybe why do I don't? Because if you know exactly what you feel and how to name it without using this aliens terminology, maybe if you open up to your girl and say, listen babe, I like you, and you'll be able to give her 20 examples or 20 reasons why, maybe that will open a completely different door for your relationship. And maybe then she'll understand that it's not about pushing you to say that you love her, but allowing you to express your emotions that you feel and are able to name, because that will make her happy. Just thought. So think about it and do something about it, because it will all start with you being able to define what you feel and why. So have fun. If you liked this video, comment, share, like. If you didn't, comment as well. Give me a shout. What do you think, and what is your approach to this thesis that I just stated? And if there's anything you want me to record about, give me a shout. I'll be glad to do it for you. And that being said, see you tomorrow.